Our next author, Astrid E.L., has finally accepted the fact that she is a writer. While on the journey to this realization, she has attended the weekly Western Suburban word plays hosted by Adam Gottlieb and hosted a few herself as a teaching artist. She became an assistant coach for Mooseheart's first Louder Than a Bomb poetry slam item, had 2 poems published in Wabansie Community College's literary magazine, Horizons, which are available here tonight, free to take, and this past spring semester held the position of co-editor-in-chief for the magazine. Being a recent graduate of Wabansie with her associate's in science degree, she will be furthering her craft of writing at Northern Illinois University this fall. You could see more of Astrid's work at medium.com/@Astridel, Astridel, and here's Astrid. And by the way, she just graduated yesterday.
Hello, thank you for coming out and thank you for staying. It's an honor to be here tonight. I love coming here and I love hearing everyone and meeting new writers. It's an experience. And for my first poem, my friend asked me to write something beautiful, and so I have created the Redbird family. On a crisp April morning with a blue sky and a cheeky rising sun, I keep still to the kitchen window, pressed as close as I could get, as if I was staring at a diamond ring in display. I watched a trio of birds, plump cardinals that vacation in my oak tree, the proud parents of a new chick. She held no vivid crimson like her father, instead was given warm, earthy tones of her mother. Pesky and curious, she followed the redbird throughout the yard, identifying various insects in the dirt, just as my father and I did when the world was once new to me, on spring days when the mother flew away. Thank you. This next poem is heavily influenced by a T.S. Eliot poem, and his poem got me started with poetry, and so I thought it was only appropriate that I write a poem almost in honor of him, constructing it the way he did, borrowing some of his words and his structure, and it's basically a documentation of my life so far. This is entitled The Passing Love Note to Eliot, and it's also in Horizons. So you can grab a copy and read along or read it at home. And if we do run out, just let me know and I can start an emailing list so I can get you the book if we run out. There's still some there. The Passing Love Note to Eliot. Let's go. When the sky becomes an array of colors, blue bleeding into orange. The artist spilled his paints. Let's go. Down cracked side streets, blissed greets, of Sunday mornings with churches laced with names, and breakfast joints with buttermilk pancakes, back roads that curve like a frown, outside of town. Yet you ask again, and eventually get your answer. Don't tell me I don't have to. Let's go. Take a visit. In the room, the woman cries, talking of Marco Polo. A gray bag of bones pressed her whiskers to the legs of a table. The charcoal that perks one soft ear, hearing every depth of morning, tiptoed above the petals that bathe the birds, allow for sweet alfalfa to sprinkle upon her back, nudged under the gate, made into a sprint, making it where it was a shy June morning, found solace on the porch and cleaned her paws. There's enough time for that charcoal that trails the pasture, snuffing the clover. There will be time to recite a name for the names to be acquainted with. There will be time to forget and renew, and time for every second, minute, and hour to tick away and strike a question. A minute for you, and a minute for me. Time for thousands of misinterpretations and 100 amusements and frustrations before the sipping of coffee. In the room, the woman cries, talking of Marco Polo. There's enough time to let's do the idea of chance, time to retrace steps and ascend the stair. But the curlicue in my hair, they'll not notice. Is it cologne from a room that piqued my liking, causing for a light swoon? Legs that propped up on a table or tucked under a blanket? I'll simply continue and question the beginning later. I can say that I have zipped through morning on endless roads and watched the steam rise from mugs of preoccupied people huddled in their seats, just in their own worlds. I should have just been a pair of feathered wings, gliding through lackluster skies. The noon, the dawn, rests so sweetly, soothed by a symphony of crickets, exhausted, dreamy, or it gets teary-eyed. Should we, after icy drinks, honey, and tobacco, have the power to hurry this moment to its end, even if I have wondered and analyzed, wondered and ignored, if I had felt my heart pound harshly, though stay perfectly intact? I am no medicine man, and there's nothing to cure. I have felt my moments of achievement to take stand, and I have felt the cool black end, quiet and waiting. In short, I'm afraid. Does it have worth, the brew, the crab cakes, the plates, within the cabinet, the talk between us? Is it worth it? To have taken the matter and admit, to wrap emotions that will emit into a tissue, drop towards the eventual answer, to entail, we are the moray, forever crafting, stitching for you all, snipping for you all. If he, propping his chin upon a fist, should reason, there's nothing I can do anymore. I've reached my end. No more, I've reached it. Did it have worth after the sunrises, the back doors, and the misty fields, after the paperbacks, after the coffee cups, after the boot heels that scrape against the floor, with that and so much more? Expression is just difficult. But as if a knife carved the gall in shoddy slashes into a wall, did that have worth? Did she, instead of crossing her legs or push away the blanket to peer out the window and brood, there's nothing I can do, she says. I have reached my end. In no way am I Jane Eyre, neither am I supposed to be. A student, perhaps, that will do. To twist a plot and peer in a scene or two, question a governess, show I pay attention, advance at being critical, proud, careful, obedient, and curious, full of potential, but a bit indifferent, also at times simply irrational. I still have much growing to do. So I'll wear a thicker coat and trudge a new path in the snow. That day I heard a blue jay chirping, boasting to himself. I doubt he'd give me more time to admire. But I've seen them years ago, resting on the naked branches of a lilac tree, replacing the spring flower with perfectly blue plumes. I've lost myself in thickets of late August cornstalks by country folk, bathed in sweat, coaxing their shoulders, until the morning loses its color and we wake. Thank you.